Good morning, everybody. It's me again. My name is Valerie, and I'm glad to be joining you again for a daily video Devo this week. It's only been a few days that we've been exploring one another passages, but I have to tell you, I am so convinced this is a great way to start the new year, to be reminded of how God wants us to be in community with each other and how He wants us to deal with each other in community. And today's one another comes from the middle of James chapter 5, verse 16, where it simply says, pray for one another. Now, this verse comes at the conclusion of a longer section on the power of prayer and being in community with each other. So when James says, therefore, he's starting his summary statement. Therefore, because prayer is effective, because prayer is powerful, pray for one another. And this may seem very simplistic to you, especially if you grew up in church. You're thinking, oh my goodness, I know, pray for each other. And it may not seem as much fun as just telling people what to do. But here and many other places in the Bible, it's what we're instructed to do. And I think it's so important because, first of all, every single one of us can do this today. We can absolutely all follow up on this. And this may actually be the easiest one another to put into action. But I think it's so important because in prayer, we're reminded that God is the one with the power, that God is the one with the plan. The situations that seem overwhelming to us, we're reminded in prayer they don't overwhelm God because He's God. So what stops us from doing this? I think for some of us, maybe it's because you feel like, you know what? I have prayed so long about this person or this situation or this part of our relationship, and nothing is happening and it's not going to change. Or maybe you don't know how to pray for somebody. Maybe you just think they need prayer, but I don't know how to pray. That's okay. Just bring them before Jesus. He knows. I think if it's been a long time and you feel like, God, do you hear me? I think that's part of how God is growing us in prayer. It's that daily obedience to pray for that person, to pray about that situation. I think sometimes we just get busy and we forget to pray, or we say, oh, I'm going to pray for you. And then we go off on our merry way and we completely forget. I have a few friends who actually set an alarm on their phone every single day, and that when that alarm goes off, it's their reminder, oh, I need to pray for that person or pray about that situation. And I think it always helps us to remember what prayer actually is. Again, prayer is our opportunity to be reminded that God is on the throne and we're not. And it's our opportunity to bring people to a God who is not overwhelmed and in fact is in control and has a plan. Prayer is our opportunity to talk to God. To talk to God. Did you hear that? We get to talk to the God of the universe in prayer. So how can you pray for one another today? I think take a moment and maybe just jot down a couple of names and pray for them today. Don't be afraid to ask people, hey, how can I pray for you? And then do it. Or maybe start with the TLC prayer sheet. You can download that at tlc.org/prayer, or you can pick it up in the lobby each weekend. At tlc.org/prayer, you can also put a prayer request in there. And then you know what? We can all pray for you. Pray for one another. This isn't a burdensome command that God has put in our lives. This is our joy. This is our opportunity that God is laying before you. He's laying before me today. Let's not miss it. Have a great day and enjoy the adventure of praying for one another. I'll see you at church.